Welcome to Cruising Altitude, the podcast where we rise above the turbulence of life and step into the freedom, clarity, and luxury of living life at our highest level. I'm Kelly O'Shea, business development consultant, private jet advisor, investor relations specialist, author, solo mom, and living proof that you can crash into life's turbulence, pick up the pieces, and still arrive in style. Whether you're navigating business, healing, or building a life that feels limitless, this is your boarding pass to living a life you were brave enough to chase. So buckle up, we're ready for takeoff. Episode 9, Couture and Cashflow, the Luxe rise of bosses in heels. And I'm with Alexis Ferguson today. Alexis, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Of course. So I've loved you since the moment I met you in Palm Beach because I walked into her event the night after my book signing and I told her I had signed, just launched a book. And she stopped the DJ and she had me get up there and make an announcement about my book. And that's just not usually how I'm treated. People are treated in Palm Beach. Usually people would say, hey, give me a few grand and I'll let you say something at my event. So I was just taken aback. I thought you were so wonderful and we've become, friends ever since then. I'm in full support of Bosses in Heels. So tell me, I want to know how, you're young and you're beautiful and you have a son. So how did you get your career start?
Let's see. So I had my son very young. I was 18 when I was pregnant, 19 when I had him. And so I had to figure out something because I didn't want to give up being a stay-at-home mom and being present because that's something that I remember from my early days, my mom being home, but still working, but still very hands-on with us as kids. So I said, I need to figure out a work-life balance that gives me the flexibility to still be at home with my son, raise him, and then have a career, right? Mm-hmm. I was a single mom, so I had to make it work. And so I started working in dentistry as I was getting my pre-law degree, and I got stuck in dentistry somehow, some way. I think it was because I was able to work on a computer all day, which allowed me to still do my schoolwork and then work during 9 to 5 hours. So long story short, I got in dentistry, loved it. I worked for Aspen, Sage, Great Expressions, the largest DSOs in North America. And then I was like, why am I still working for large corporations? I should be doing this myself. Yeah. So then I branched off and started Insight Dental, where I do management consulting for dental practices. And that gives me the perfect flexibility with my son and then still being an entrepreneur. So I make my own hours so I can still be present with my kid. And that's what it's all about.
I love it, but you realized obviously somewhere along the way that you wanted a bit more than just that day job,
exactly.
Which is I can totally understand and I support. So, So tell me about how you came up with Bosses in Heels and kind of when you also moved to Palm Beach County, because those are around the same time, right?
So I've always been very empathetic with women who are trying to start their own business, especially when you're a mother on top of that. So I said, what did I need when I was starting my business as a single mom? What resources did I need to get my business off the ground? Mm-hmm. And I said, what if I can give those resources to other women here in Palm Beach County that are trying to do the same thing, build a brand from the ground up? Mm-hmm. So I said, Bosses in Heels. So we focus on giving a platform, a community, and then access to capital for all of these women who have business ideas that just need help launching it and getting it off the ground and running. Yeah. So that's how Bosses in Heels came.
That's so nice. And I went to your event in September, Capital and Couture at the new Palm House, which was fabulous. And it was really, really nice the way that you did it. And you had the women come up on stage to do their pitch. So tell me a little bit about that and how that came together.
So I wanted to make it super interactive. And so I said, I wanted to bring like the Met Gala meets Shark Tank. Right. So the 5 women, we selected them. There was a long list of applicants who applied that wanted to pitch. And so I just based it off of personality, how they spoke, and kind of how they carried themselves. That way, it's kind of a show at the event, right? Like they're the main entertainment for the gala. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how I picked the people that came on. But 5 women got on stage, they pitched their business live, and then the audience voted. And it was just, I think that's the best way to do it because the women are able to give their side and their story and why they created what they've created. Right. And I think the audience just kind of gets tied into that, the story of it.
I love that. So Bosses in Heels is really the platform for these women to get awareness for their business and capital.
And capital,
And you're doing that mostly through events.
Exactly, mostly through events. And then even beyond the gala, right? That was back in September. Even since then, I'm already working with some of the contestants from the gala. and furthering their business even more. So hosting events later just to give them the publicity and keep selling their brand, promoting their brand. Any way that I can continue to support them aside from the gala, I still do throughout the year.
Yeah, well, I love that. And I think that goes along so much with like how PR is evolving, right? And so it's no longer traditional pitching of the media. So what are people doing? And there's a lot of women I think are doing a great job at events like this. And because in different counties throughout South Florida and different industries, they're bringing together the right people.
Yes.
And then their clients are the sponsors that are, let's be honest, we're all looking to meet the people that are at these events. A lot of us are looking to meet the ultra high net worth, get an investor, get a private flyer, get and so to cut out the middleman and have these people be interacting in an event for a cause, I think makes so much sense. It's really smart. It's the new way to do it.
And it's different. It's like we didn't ask. I try to structure a little bit more like luxury, meaning when you come in, it's all about the experience. What my first gala was my first gala that I've ever gone to. And so I didn't really have anything to base it off of. But it's all about the experience that you want people to have when they come and support you or these other women that were there.
Right.
So I think that's one way that we made it a little bit different. Interactive. We didn't ask anyone to pull out their pocketbooks, write more checks, or do auctions like how most people do at galas. It's like, no, it's all about these women entrepreneurs, and that's it.
Right. And it was a fashion show, which was
Yeah,
fabulous.
exactly. Yeah, so while we're tallying up the votes, I'm like, well, what are we going to do for the intermission part of that? And I said, a fashion show. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And people enjoyed it. It's a nice blend of like philanthropy, fashion, and finances, business.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed the shopping as well because honestly, I get bored at galas where I don't drink. And so it's really boring for me just to sit there and watch everyone get drunk.
Exactly.
And then you're done eating and it's like, I'm almost ready to go home. And it's like, oh, I got to sit through the auction now.
I know, exactly. It's like, yeah, it can be draining.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so I think that's smart. So what else are you doing for these clients for brand awareness in addition to the event?
Everyone's different.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a resource to these women. So I even get messages all the time in emails from women who have business ideas that they just want support on or a little bit of consulting. And so I outsource, I connect them with the right people, and anything that they need, they know that they can reach out to Bosses in Heels and we'll help them the best that we can.
Yeah, I love it. And then you're using your platform on social media
Exactly.
as well. So I saw something that you're having this Sunday, actually, Glow with Gratitude.
Yeah,
So tell me about it.
Yeah, so one of the contestants that were at the Couture Gala, she has a fitness line called Interactive. And so I said, well, let's host a luxury wellness event here in Palm Beach, and all the attendees will receive one of her workout sets. So it's just another way to promote sales for her brand while also still giving people a wellness event that they can enjoy and let loose and kind of just get into the grateful spirit of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I love that. And I saw that it was at Cove Club.
Exactly.
And you and I went to an event there.
Yes, they
which
have
was
the best wellness events.
great
They
events.
do a good job.
And then we went to our event was the Club Palm Beach. And I love what they're doing, Samuel, because they're creating these events where people are not drinking alcohol.
Yes.
They're not doing drugs. They're sober, but they're handing out like energy drinks and they're blasting music like you would at a day pool party 10 years ago at Nikki Beach, where I would have been like on my face falling off the bar from alcohol.
Right.
But it's so cool because you're like, this is exactly what I've learned from being alcohol free for 4 years. It's like, wow, a lot of those moments that I liked drinking were really just because I liked the atmosphere, the connections, the time off from my brain, you know, right? And so you can have all that without alcohol and be actually doing something good for yourself, right?
I agree. Yeah.
So I love that.
I'm trying to weed off that alcohol too. It's just so bad for you.
I
You're
know.
just drinking poison. So why not just get out, move your bodies, have some shots of ginger juice or something instead?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, much
I know,
better.
because I don't, and I have like my THC drops usually, but I've even been challenging myself lately, like, do I really need these? Because I've noticed I like it almost a little more when I'm chilling at home, because it kind of makes me tired. And if I'm going to these events mostly for networking, I don't want to be tired. So it's almost, and I pay attention, a lot of people aren't drinking. And it like really cuts that out. If I just get there, especially, I'm like driving, I'm a single mom, I'm exhausted. So it's like, get in, get out, go home.
Yes, seriously, I'm with you.
And I've noticed too with all these events, and season just started in Palm Beach, but I've been going to all these events in Miami too. It's just it can be exhausting, and we have to like take care of ourselves, right? And so it's important.
I agree.
So what else are you working on at Bosses in Heels for this season?
Oh man, we have another event. So the winner, Christelle, she had at the gala, she won the $5,000 check for those of you who weren't there. And so we're doing a trunk show for her in December It's going to be super cool. She's going to be showcasing her designs. So the money that she won from the event is how she was able to get her sample product designed.
Okay.
So she used the money towards that. So we're going to showcase all of her designs and things that she's been working on in Africa.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to be super
That's
cool.
so exciting.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I think a big part of it, just to get back to the collabs really quick, is I think aside from the events, it's the partnerships, right?
Yes.
And the collaborations.
Yep, that's
and
what
again,
it's all about.
when we're all going for that same market, for the same demographic. And so it's easier when you represent clients that are going after the same thing, right?
Yes.
And then you just get them to collaborate
Absolutely.
together, and it makes a lot of sense.
And that's what it's all about, collaboration. You can get so much done when you just partner with the right people.
Right, exactly. And so I know also I was seeing some of your posts about a book club, and you're launching your own. Is that right?
Yes, it's called the CEO Shelf.
Okay.
Super exciting because I realized at the gala that you can give women the same opportunity, but one person will get so much more out of it simply based on their communication skills, which a lot of people don't have. Like when I was getting feedback from people after the pitch competition, people were saying this contestant wowed us because of her storytelling skills. And I'm like, okay, now we're on to something. I'm like, not only do I want to give them a platform, but I also want to give them the resources to expand on their business, financials, and just communication skills.
Right.
Because all of those things will predict how well someone does in their business. I can give you the platform all day long, but if you can't articulate your idea or your business plan, then it means nothing.
Right.
And you just waste opportunities. So
Yeah.
now the book club will be a full circle moment. So I'm giving them the resources to actually know and learn about business and what they need to make it successful.
Yeah, I love that. And yeah, you talked about right, like making sure the brand is kind of whole, right? Like
Yes.
before they even come to you or I
Exactly.
for even further development, right?
Yep.
And I think a lot of that has to do with their digital footprint and
Right.
like this. And I think you've probably in the beginning of your career learned a lot about digital marketing, right?
I'm learning every day.
Yeah.
It is a different ball game. I mean, I would have never expected just how the internet and how marketing makes a huge difference on what people perceive your brand as.
Right.
I had no idea.
Right. And just driving that traffic, right? I
Right.
mean, there's so many different components. And I think as I've kind of relaunched as business development, it's not just PR, and it's not just marketing and events and partnerships. It's also the digital marketing
Yes.
and the social media. And these are all different legs. And so and then to also be aware of that for your clients and
Right.
how to do all that is, can be overwhelming.
Very.
But I think, focusing also on one specific thing like you are doing too with the
Yes.
events
Yep.
makes a lot of sense.
Makes it easy. Keeps
Yeah.
it simple. I don't want to get in unfamiliar territory.
Right.
So I'll leave someone else to do the marketing and stuff, but that's not me. It's not my specialty.
Yeah. Now with Bosses and Heels, have you grown as a staff, or is it still you?
No, I just keep people, like, again, keeping that network of people that I can outsource information to other people. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Just connecting the right people. And I think it's just easy to keep it smaller and, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I've been doing it too. Like I was just saying, like, because now that I've taken on clients, it's almost more like I'm the campaign manager and
Right.
then I'm outsourcing. So
Yes.
it's more like referrals, and every client is going to they're not going to need the whole package,
No,
right? Say
right.
like all 20 of us that do different things like an
Exactly.
entire marketing department would have.
Right.
They're going to need maybe just a few of those. And so to your point, I think they look to women like you, women like me. There's a lot of, I have a lot of friends that are doing something similar, and I think the great thing is that there's room for all of us at the top. We can
Absolutely.
all do it together. If a client doesn't make sense for me necessarily, or if they're looking to do an event, like I would
Right.
absolutely go to you. And
Right.
and I think for me too, as I've kind of relaunched my business and even really my life, is like surrounding myself around good people that want to see you succeed. And
Yes.
and really, I mean it. That's why you stood out to me so much in Palm Beach, because it's just not something other people do. But I think that's something you really believe in, right? And boosting
Absolutely.
women up.
Yeah. There's no competitive nature in my body. It's like we're all on the same team, especially as women. It's I see that a lot too in Palm Beach. It's like women just compete instead of just collaborating.
Right.
You cannot be scared of collaboration. You just can't be.
Right, exactly. And I think I think a lot of times if a woman can't compete with another woman, then she'll kind of throw stones. And
Right.
or if a man can't have a woman, he will
100%.
throw stones. So I
Yes.
think a huge misconception is that attractive women have it easy when actually they don't, because there are so many people from both genders that are
Right.
actually trying to make our lives more
Exactly.
difficult.
100%.
And I've experienced that firsthand, I think, my entire life. And I think what I realized in writing the book is that we attract what we already know.
Yeah.
And so I'm so grateful that I did that work on myself, because I knew for when I lost my husband, like, what is up with me that I'm attracting all these people, because it
Right.
wasn't even just romantically, it was friendships and
Right.
business. And I think in writing the book, it really just went back to the fact that my mother was a narcissist, and when I'm constantly trying to like earn her love or have her see me,
Right.
and then my father, and that dynamic was kind of the emotional avoidance. So it was the same thing, really, kind of just trying to be really struggling to be seen in the family, and I think that translates to adult life. So.
Right.
While I might have had girlfriends and, potential lovers that were very nice to me, that was so weird to me. I didn't even know how to handle
Yeah.
it. Even now, as I have friends that are saying nice things to me in the mornings, and we say, like, I love you to each other, even a simple thank you when you're welcome,
Right.
it feels weird.
Right.
Because I'm used to being, like, essentially emotionally abused, right? And anyway, so I think that, we repeat that. And so for me to come, when I first came down here, the game was really different in Palm Beach.
Yeah.
And I noticed that I felt like in New York, I was making more connections. Not only that, but I was also doing real business deals, like going out, and then the next day I'd actually have 5 clients,
Right.
not fluff. But down
Yes.
here, it's like a slower relationship build.
Whew.
But the
No
problem when you
kidding.
love being in relationships, like I love having relationships, and so everyone, I'm like, yay, tell me
Yes,
more about you.
yes.
I hope that eventually we'll be able to work together, or you could get me a client, but in the meantime, I'm happy to get to know you. That
Right.
gets you burned
Oh, yeah.
real fast.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can take people out to lunch every day. They're not going to do anything for you. Sorry, it's so true.
Oh, they're just there for the free lunch. I've learned so many times, it's like, no, everything has to be business. I mean, yes, it's nice to have relationships, but you have to remember that this is a business thing or whatever it is, because people will just take advantage of you. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just what they do around here.
Exactly.
All fluff and no action usually.
Yeah, exactly. And I think looking back, and being able to write the book, which was again just so therapeutic for me as a woman, and I recommend really anyone do it, because anyone who believes that they have trauma that doesn't necessarily belong to them and that's holding them back,
Right.
right? And so it was like I just had this opportunity last year and I just jumped on it, and I'm grateful that I did it, because I was able to make sense of it, right?
Right.
And so in making sense of it, you learn that is we project a lot about like what we expect things to be, right? And I think that for me, being in ultra high net worth for work,
Right.
before I stopped drinking, I confused it too much. I think I really wanted to be, I mean, who doesn't want to be ultra high net worth? I mean, at some point in their
course.
life, I mean, those are
Right.
just goals, right? But I think I wanted it for the wrong reasons. I wanted
Okay.
it for like more like a showy, way. Whereas now, to your point, now that I've experienced some hardship too, and like taking a
Right.
year off to write the book, I want to give back as well. I want to
Yes.
give back to single moms and also children who, unfortunately lost both parents.
Right.
And so I've been going, as much as I don't really love galas, though, A Place
Right.
of Hope has some really good ones.
Oh, yes.
And I've been really liking the people that I see there that contribute, because you are all going for that cause. And I mean,
Absolutely.
when you're at the gala and you're seeing all these kids, I mean, yeah, it's just heartbreaking. I think it's easy also to put it in perspective. I think you and I have kind hearts. Just I think we were
Right.
born that way, but also because we have experienced some hardship.
Yeah.
Any single mom, I don't care who you are, what you're putting out there on social
Absolutely.
media, it's not easy.
No, not at all.
And we have a lot of moments when no one sees us, crying, and it's important to know that we're not alone.
Right.
But I also think that is what has made me, who I am today, where I have this like real authentic confidence now, because I know I can handle anything, and I've been able to provide for my son, and I think that that I've worked on things that no one can ever take away from me, right? So, how have you found the women in Palm Beach?
Well, I'm from Indiana. Okay, so let's just say women in Indiana, women in Florida are just different breeds of people.
Yep.
I just, like you said, I come from a very genuine place. That's what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
But here it's, like we mentioned, it's very competitive, very, oh, who's that person? Like, what does she do? Like, it's very, it just doesn't come from a good place. I found when I'm meeting other women here in Palm Beach. You meet a few. I met you, right? So
Yeah.
they're out there. It's hard to find.
Yeah.
But you get what you put out there, I guess. So maybe I just need to change my perspective on how I look at situations, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's energy also. And again, as I've been working on myself this year, I was so focused on sales, and that takes a long time to build. So I
Yeah.
didn't want to be distracted by a romantic relationship. But I have been like manifesting like love and support, because like I look at my boss, Chris Tasca, and I see how well he's doing, and he's a great guy, but also he has a wonderful wife and
Right.
supportive of family, and he's taken his time to choose the right men on his team at Fly Alliance,
Right,
and I got
right.
to spend a couple nights with them at the boat show, and of course these guys drink and stuff, but I was like happy to be there. I was like,
Right.
I was really thrilled. There was a hot tub. I was just whatever, drinking soda water and going out and still going out with them, and I mean it was just really fun, and I just thought to myself, wow, imagine how much farther I could go with people who actually want to see me succeed, right? Because it feels like the first half of my life, like I said, was people who actually wanted to make it more difficult.
Right.
But when you take the time to do the work to find those people, and that's what I mean. I think when you, like this year is also called like a 9 year, like a snake year, where you shed a lot. So there's like a lot of like loss, but it's making way for the right things, right? And then the right people start to find you, because they're here. There are good people in Palm
Absolutely,
Beach
yeah.
County, and there are so many people that are moving from up north.
Right.
So I think it's just a matter of like your of that putting the right energy out
Yes.
there too, you know.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, when I'll tell the story a little bit when I first, kind of lost everything, so to speak. But so, a couple years ago, I had a business partner from. Actually, I was introduced to her by Chase Becker, who we love.
Right. Yes.
And thankfully, Chase has like done my face this year, so he's made up for this loss that he caused me 2 years ago. No, but he just knows everyone, and I thought this woman was wonderful, and she was ultra high net worth. And what again, I saw PR changing, so what I
Right.
thought she could bring in, which she said was bringing in clients, because she was high net worth. Okay,
Right.
fine. But she took half the retainer, which I think was too much. I was too generous with that in the beginning, and then she wasn't really bringing them in clients. So then all of a sudden I'm feeling like the whole retainer, because it's coming to my agency, is on me. I got to really hustle for this. And again, that was the whole point, though. I had saw PR changing. So I was very uncomfortable with that situation, and I really did want to go in-house with Magellan, and they made me a low ball offer, but I thought there was room for negotiation, so I started to pull away from the business partner.
Right.
But, and I told her finally in May of 23 I didn't want to work with her anymore, and we had a yacht client together, and the first thing she did when she realized that what I was doing was call him and make sure he pays her the remaining balance and not me. And mind you, both of them, the yacht owner and the business partner, were millionaires, and I was a widow with a 7-year-old child to take care of on my own. So that was so ruthless that I didn't even know. I knew I was going to stay in Jupiter, but I didn't know if I was going to get back in the ultra high net worth, because then I had it on both ends, a partner and a client, ultra high net worth, and I was like, I'm done with all rich people. And then. But she wasn't done there. So I then, of course, I felt like I had to go in with Magellan. This was all my only choice. By the way, I did go after that client for the money, though, and I won, thank God. I had through all my lawyer contacts, because my husband was a lawyer, and we really needed that money. And this was the whole point of redoing the agency. So many people would fire me like right before summer or Christmas, and it's like I have my kid, but they just didn't care. So anyway, then I went to go in-house with Magellan and see if they could increase their offer, and really trying hard out there. But then ultimately what happened was that they let their whole marketing team go, and that was no one's fault, and I was part of that. But when they let me go, the president, who I'm very close with, he let me know something I wasn't supposed to know, and that my business partner actually called the vice president, or had her husband's like a Lehman Brothers legend, as she says, call Magellan and say, we can bring you a lot of leads, but I think you should let Kelly O'Shea go, because she has a bad reputation in town, which is obviously not true. And I had been with them for 13 years, and I don't have any communication with the vice president anymore. So, obviously that was true. There's like proof in the pudding. And she knew that, and I tried to get it back to there. I had gotten her a job with a magazine, and I let the publisher know that she was trying to like take everything from me. And I don't know if she's still at that magazine, but yeah. So I mean, that was ruthless, and that was
Right.
rough. It was really rough for me. She would have, I think, been very happy if I was out of my house, out of Jupiter. You know,
Right.
who knows, living in a van down by the river.
Right.
But I'm not, and I think, again, I worked on things that people can't take away from me. My character and my tenacity and the woman I've become over these past years will stay with me forever. And I've learned that you can take everything from me and I'll just go out and get it again. It's not on me, it's in me. And
Absolutely.
so this is the rebuild, and I'm happy. I'm really happy that you're in my life, and
Me too.
I think that's again. That's just a part of it. Like I've made my way back into the world of the ultra high net worth and doing sales for Fly Alliance and going to boat shows again, because I'm not going to let people take that away from me. I excel in that industry, and that's what I'm going to do. And so we may get knocked down, but we get up again.
Just
and
keep getting back up. That's what it's all about.
We keep going. So,
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm excited. So good luck on Sunday. And just
Thank
tell everyone one
you.
more time where they can find you.
Okay, it's my Instagram is Bosses in Hills, Palm Beach. Super cute logo. You won't miss us. Yeah.
And okay,
So
on
excited.
Instagram.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, girl. So
Thank
good to
you.
see you.
You
Thanks for
too.
being here.